I must say, there is very little that this museum does not have. It is quite an impressive display. We're in the Presidential Gallery, and we are right next to what was really the first presidential plane. It was uh, Franklin Roosevelt's Sacred Cow, um, named for his wife. No, I don't know where the name came from, but it was called the Sacred Cow. And from what the guys here told me, he used it one time. One time. And that was the trip to Yalta, I believe it was. Um, and it was modified for him. Um, so the public would not have to see him so humbled um, with polio. Couldn't quite walk the ramp down with the missus. So the accommodations were made in the construction of the plane. After the Sacred Cow and FDR, Truman had a different plane. You know, at that time it was not kind of well, a different president, a different plane. I'll do what I want. Truman came along, and he stayed a little bit longer in the White House, and he rode this plane, the old Independent. And this is Independence, so definitely Truman's plane. Um, and you can see where he got his name from, the name of the plane from. The marvelous thing about this is all these planes are open to the public. They are all open to the public. You can go inside these. Okay? All of them are open to the public. And the museum, here's the kicker, is free of charge. Okay. This is the Independence from the man from Missouri, Harry Give 'em Hell Truman. Along with the major planes, personal planes of each, they also have little spotter planes, not spotter planes, but little jets that the president would use and employ, at his service, if needed for whatever occasion. After Truman came Kennedy and Eisenhower. Is this? Yeah, Eisenhower. Not sure if Eisenhower had a plane or not. But anyways, yes, Eisenhower did have his own plane. Okay, I've learned, and it was called the Columbine. And so after Truman came Eisenhower, and he had his own plane. So Columbine 3, Eisenhower, and again, open to the public. Now, after Eisenhower, came Air Force One. And I don't know whose idea it was to Give a president one plane and all the presidents fly on the same plane. I don't know. But this Air Force One was begun, I believe, Kennedy, and all the way up through Clinton, I believe it was, until they changed planes. This is Air Force One, and this is literally an historic piece. Again, you can go inside. This is the plane that flew the body of the president. You know, Kennedy from Dallas. The insides there were modified to fit the casket in. This is the rear door where they brought the casket down, if you remember, and were my age. Well, no, actually you wouldn't remember if you were my age, but if you grew up in an Irish Catholic family, yes, this was CBS News coverage you saw every year on November 22nd. Bobby and or Jackie escorting the casket down the ramp in the rear door. So there's a lot of history here, a lot of history in this plane itself. And this is Air Force One. And we are at the Air Force Museum outside of Dayton here.